Hey guys, it's Robin, and I'm feeling kind of sad today because Carrie Fisher has passed away, and you guys know how much I love Star Wars and how much it's a part of my life, right, Penny? Penny's back here hanging out with me. So I just want to talk a bit about what Carrie Fisher and Princess Leia mean to me, and I'm going to try not to cry. If you notice lots of edits in this video, that will be why. When I was a little girl, back in the 1900s, and Star Wars had come out, my brother had all the Star Wars action figures, and I was only allowed to play with Princess Leia or the droids because Star Wars was not for girls. But it was always cool to play Leia because she was awesome. She was smart, she was funny, she could shoot, she could get all her friends out of trouble, and, you know, even though they come to rescue her that first time, she rescues them several times later on. One of my favorite Leia moments is when, in Jabba's palace, she takes off the mask and it's revealed that she's that bounty hunter who brought Chewbacca in. And she's actually there to rescue Han. And, you know, she had joined in. I mean, and this is the 80s. Hi, Benny. You know, there weren't a lot of women in sci-fi rescuing their men back then, or even now, really. So that was pretty cool. And like, even though they made her wear that crazy bikini, which she hated wearing, she kills Jabba. In fact, in one of the books, I think it's called Bloodlines by Claudia Gray, they call her Hut Slayer because she's so awesome. And then later on in Return of the Jedi, she saves her friends too because they're all getting busted up in traps. But what does Leia do? She's a diplomat. She makes friends with the little Ewok and she saves them with the help of C-3PO later on instead of becoming Ewok dinner. And, you know, she was such an icon in that movie, but she was also really great in so many other things. One of my other favorite movies in the world is When Harry Met Sally, and she plays Sally's best friend Marie, and she's hilarious, and she's just so funny in that movie. And she's played herself and she's played herself in a bunch of stuff, and she's made appearances in so many things. She was actually over in London filming a great show which is on Amazon called Catastrophe. Not a family-friendly show, but she is hilarious in it. And I believe her dog Gary Fisher is also in the show. Her dog, you can follow him on social media. He's so adorable, and he goes everywhere with her. He's always on talk shows and stuff. And she's just a hilarious person on talk shows. She would be on Craig Ferguson a lot, and that was always my favorite. And they just had great rapport, and she just always made me laugh. She's always so honest about her past, her addictions, her struggles. She was bipolar, and she was an advocate, and, you know, she struggled with weight loss and just so many things, and she was honest about it, and she had a sense of humor about it. She wrote a book called Wishful Drinking that I just thought was so hilarious, and yeah, so good. And she just wrote a new one called The Princess Diarist, which just came out. I haven't had a chance to read that. And another one called Postcards from the Edge, which is also a very famous book that got made into a movie, and also super hilarious. Just a really funny, honest person. And she was at New York Comic Con this year, and I just always think at Comic Con it's so cool to think that you're in the same building as some of your favorite stars, even when you don't get to see them. But one of my really good friends got to meet her and Carrie and got a picture with her, and I thought that was so cool. And I just lived through her. And I've been thinking about that a lot today, how cool that is that she got to experience that. Carrie Fisher was actually supposed to be at Denver Comic Con, but she was back in London, I believe, shooting. So I didn't get to see her in Denver, but yeah, she was shooting, I think, episode 8. So I'm also, you know, I'm a little worried about how the Star Wars universe is going to treat this. I really, really hope that they don't do a Tarkin and try to do some weird digital thing, because that just, to me, is just it's just disrespectful. I don't know. I'm not very comfortable with what they did with Tarkin. I didn't think it looked really weird, but I just think it sets a really bad precedent for Hollywood to just be able to recreate actors who may not have wanted to be in these films, and it's very weird. And I really hope they don't do that to us. I hope they can find a very classy way to handle her passing that will, you know, mean something to fans. I think that's really important. But like I said, Princess Leia is such an important character in my life. And Carrie Fisher defined her. She brought her smarts and her sassiness and the sense of humor to that character. And that character will live on in action figures and comic books, in the books. There's some really great books about Leia in the Legacy books, and also in the new canon. Bloodlines is a really great one about Leia, set past, it's post Return of the Jedi, but pre Force Awakens, maybe 20 years or 15 years in between. And that deals with Leia's struggle as Vader's daughter. And whether it's in the canon books or the comics or in the movies, she's always an amazing, amazing leader. They also call her Lady Vader in the Heir to Thrawn books, which I found hilarious, and they were like frightened of her. And I'm kind of sad that we didn't get to see her be a Jedi like she was in some of the Timothy Zahn and Beyond books, because that was pretty cool when she got to use the lightsaber, I will say. And we didn't get to see that in the movies, but that's all right. I have a feeling when I do finally see episode 8, I'm gonna cry my eyes out even more now than I already probably will. I'm just such a sap. It's just so sad. But yeah, like I said, Leia just is such an important, inspiring character. She's just been a hero to me for so long. Yeah, so I'm totally a blubbering mess right now, and that's because Leia has been such a hero to me, and that's because of Carrie Fisher. And there was definitely a disturbance in the Force that I think lots of people are going to feel for years to come. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any favorite memories of Carrie Fisher, stories, or parts that she played, or have you read her books, or, you know, let me know if you love Leia too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you'll subscribe and all that stuff, and may the Force be with you. Bye!